What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. Now I was going to give you guys a build video this morning, but I figured after all of this, year 3 leaks, controversy, I'd probably might as well make a video and give you guys my 2 cents on it. So if you guys still want that build video today, just let me know in the comment section below. You can hit pause and just say, yo, give me that build. And I will. I'll probably release it later. We'll see. I don't know. Anyways, back to this controversy, and it gets juicy. So, yeah. So last night, or this morning, however you want to put it, whichever part of the world you're in, we got these leaks, in quotations there, leaks for year 3. And they were pretty juicy. Not only that, but they were lengthy. Like, it was a pretty good page. Someone took time to even categorize each part of the leaks. That way we could just understand it better. It wasn't just, jotted down on a notepad. This was actually well formatted. Not only that, but before I even start talking about these leaks, the original person that posted it on Reddit deleted these leaks, and then it somehow got reposted on the Ubisoft forums under the title Alleged Leaks for a Future Expansion. So take everything I'm about to talk about with a grain of salt, just so you guys know, okay? I know I didn't do like this huge entrance or anything. Hey, look, it's the snitch. So if you guys need the snitch, he is right here next to the mast control point. But alright, back to the subject at hand. So we got leaks on Reddit. They were deleted and then re-uploaded in a smaller format. People kind of, I guess, took what the person said and then abbreviated it and then put it on the Ubisoft forums under the title Alleged Leaks for a New Expansion. So, again, last disclaimer, everything I'm about to talk about, take it with a grain of salt, and let's discuss about it. So it starts off in different categories. So I'll stop right here and I'll read it for you. So the different categories it starts with are story content, mechanics, item and loot, surprising addition, will it be free, and then a disclaimer. Okay? So, as everyone normally would, they would read, the story content and get all the juicy stuff out of the way first, right? No. I'm going to start off with this disclaimer. Are you ready for this? So before I even talk about it, it's already warned. I've warned you 3 times, and the person that wrote this warns you. I have forwarded these leaks as received and kept some things to myself, i.e. the raid, exact loot changes, etc., to avoid causing too much stir in the community. I am neither an employee of Ubisoft nor I claim these leaks to be 100% true, but I can say one thing for sure, we're in for a ride for year 3. That right there, come on. That right there is all you need to know. Okay? The rest of this we're going to discuss, and it's cool, I feel like we're, Epic Slayers or somebody where we're going to speculate. But right there, that's all you need to know. The disclaimer is that it might not be true, and that's from the person that wrote it, with a winky emoji next to it's going to be fun in year 3. So they say none of this could be true, but we're in for a ride for year 3. Ha ha ha, winky face. No. That right there says that all of this is speculation. None of this has any evidence to support its facts. And that also means that it's basically a copy and paste from at least a dozen different content creators and people off of either Reddit or Twitter. Everything in these leaks are things that we have all discussed. These are all things that we want. So it's funny and it's fitting that a week ago we got a note from the developers telling us that, hey, you guys might have noticed that TU12 was the end, but thanks to you, we're going to get more content later on this year. And then a week later, you're telling me a week later, we get these leaks where it's everything we've already said we've wanted, and it's drawn out, like right here. So let's get through it. So if you want to timestamp right now and let everyone know this is when we're talking about the leaks. So story content. It says it will be similar to Warlords of New York. Similar. However, we're going to hunt down Natalia Sokolova. And then there's going to be some, people under her, some henchmen or whatever. That's, kind of the exact same thing as Warlords of New York. We did, what was that, 4 or 5 missions. And then the last mission was the Aaron Keener mission. Makes sense for an expansion. And it also makes sense that it's Sokolova, because Sokolova is actually one of the last people in the game that we haven't, confronted. So that part's fitting, and that's something that we've wanted. And after this recent manhunt with Fei Lao, we know that after, her demise and, President Ellis is gone, Natalia Sokolova is actually the only one left. So this kind of does fit the narrative, but we all knew this. This isn't anything new. And then it says that it would be in a new city. Now, a new city, let's just wrap our heads around that part. So it took them how many years to do New York City? Just for the first game. What, nearly 5-10 years? And then it took them, another 3 to 4 years for Washington, D.C. It took them probably a year or so to knock out the little New York City expansion that we already have. And now you're saying that we're going to go to a new city where they haven't probably researched or gone to location and got all this information. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of speculative in my eyes. The only thing I could think of, and this is a far, far hunch, is that what if we go to Raccoon City for Resident Evil? What if we did that? I mean, if you guys want to say we're going to a different city, why not just speculate all the cities? We almost had a Resident Evil Kinley College. They could have easily turned that into Raccoon City, and they didn't. They pushed back. But what if they just make that the expansion? What if we just go there anyways? I mean, there's a lot of speculation here. I don't think personally we're going to get a new city. I think if it's anything, it would be probably a addition to what we already have. Because Frederick Thylander on Twitter already stated that, changing the environment, like right now it's raining and it's, hot outside here in Washington, D.C., it would take them a very long time just to be able to change this to snowy, foggy conditions. So it's easier for them to keep what they have and just add to it. So I would think, if anything, we would probably get a New York City expansion. And it is very easy to do so. A new city, you could easily make that part of New York City. So right here is the current Warlords of New York expansion. This is everything that we got in year 2. So you're telling me they can't shoot over here and give us, something over here? Or they can't expand up here and give us anything? I mean, I think it's much easier. Right here kind of looks like West Side Pier, you remember from Division 1. So you could easily maybe just add Division 1. I mean, there's easier avenues that they could take. And during this whole pandemic that they keep making excuses for with their patchworks for this game, I highly doubt during this pandemic they're going to be able to location research and, get certain scales for certain parts of cities. I think it is much easier to either make up a completely new city that has 0 real life references. For example, Resident Evil. You could easily just throw a school, a police station, and maybe one other landmark and just call it a new city and just make it all Resident Evil. Very easy to do. You could also add on to what you have. These are kind of your only two options. Because as a developer and with time allotted and all of this jazz, they're not just going to throw, let me think, London or Los Angeles or Boston or Miami. They're not just going to make an expansion like that, because those are real life locations that take time and effort for the environmental designers to make the replica scales. I mean, it takes a lot of time. It is much easier to work with something you already have and just add on to it, or make something completely new and unique that doesn't have real life, features, or I guess real life, things to compare. So that's my thoughts for the story content part of this leak. Yes, it makes sense. We, take down Sokolova. That makes sense. Entering a new city, I just explained the two reasons how we could do that, but it's very far-fetched. All of this is speculative. I keep stressing that, but it is fun to talk about. So the next part, the mechanics. This is more for, after the story mode. It's not so much mechanics. It should be titled manhunts. Because after supposed Sokolova is gone, we're going to start doing manhunts again, except for this time they are going to be hunters, which sound amazing. We all loved the Schaefer mission and manhunts that involved the hunters. We all did. In fact, we loved it so much that the Schaefer mission seemed way, way on a higher level than this Fei Lao mission that we just did. And it kind of got us all disappointed at the developers and at the storyline, because Schaefer had all these hunters, there were different mechanics, it was just a really fun feel when it come to the manhunts. And then you had Fei Lao, where she just jumped out of a helicopter and then she's lying there in the dirt. So it just seemed very different. And again, this seems more of like a fan, this is more to make fans happy, and not so much what could really happen, because we don't even have any sort of idea who the hunters are. We don't understand who they work for. So, doing manhunts to hunt down the hunters does seem cool, and it does seem like it would be a lot of fun. However, that just seems like what the community wants. That doesn't really seem like something, they've been striving to, produce. And that just seems more of like a fan-made speculation. So that's the mechanics part of this leak. They're saying that we're going to go to a different city, track down Sokolova, take her down, and then all of a sudden these new manhunts are going to be different hunters, and, whatever. So the next part, it just says items and loot, and literally, just listen to this. It says, of course, there will be a plethora of new weapons and a minimum of 10 exotics at launch. More to be added to upcoming updates. Get real. That's, this is something that someone probably made up on YouTube, and this person just wrote it down on a post. A minimum of 10 exotics, I'm calling BS. I don't even think we got that for Warlords. Did we even get half of that for the Warlords? I'm trying to remember here. So for us to get 10 exotics just off the rip, it is very, very far-fetched. Yeah, there's no way. And then saying that, there's going to be, a whole bunch of new weapons, a minimum of 10 exotics, and more will be added. That says nothing about brand sets, gear sets, talents. That says nothing about specializations. This literally has nothing in it. Like Gamey Daddy and his discussion videos are more on point than this Reddit post. And like, come on, like when it comes to speculation, I'd rather go listen to Gamey Daddy because he actually has research and like can have evidence to prove some of these allegations. But this post that everyone's like going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for just seems like clickbait, like utter clickbait. So then after items and loot, it says surprising addition, keeping every detail to a minimum, as we got Summit. As we got Summit as a replayable mode for Warlords, we are getting 2 new game modes for this update: a survival-esque mode and a PvP focused mode. Best news so far, with another emoji. Now, come on. We all know as a community, whether it be GC Rock, Nothing But Skills, Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, myself, there are several people that still play survival in the Division. That's one of the game modes that we all love. That is a game mode that you could play PvP and PvE, and it was very fun. I still play survival, and I'll probably come out with a new survival video this coming week. That's what the community has wanted this entire time. But here we go again. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Julian Garrity, the creative director of The Division 2, has been asked several times, and this is public knowledge. He has stated there will be no underground or survival in The Division 2. Period. No plans to do survival or underground. Now remember, after I just said that, I'm sure a lot of you are like, but Kamikaze, the Summit is just like the underground. Kind of. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's kind of like the underground. I preferred the underground because it felt better, and I even just made a video on it. It felt better, the movement was better, the environment was better, the mechanics were better, all of it. And the Summit, yeah, it is cool, but I get bored faster playing the Summit than I do playing Underground. And Underground's been out for, 5 years maybe? Something like that. Anyways, so yes, we did get a Underground-esque mode called the Summit. So is it far-fetched to say we'll get a survival-esque mode? No, we could. We very much well could. And I think that would be amazing. I'm a huge fan of it. And again, this just seems like more fan service. This is what we've already been asking for. So for these leaks to come out a week after the developers have just said we're in early development for things that are going to come on later on this year, do you really think this has any integrity? I don't know. So going back to it, it says, will it be free? Obviously, the answer is no. It's not going to be free. Looking at all this, you're looking at a new expansion with a level increase, with new manhunts, a new survival-esque mode, a new PvP mode, which probably is a part of the survival-esque mode, if I'm just going to speculate here. Because if you guys remember, in survival, you had PvP survival, and then you had PvE survival. So it makes sense to just add that to whatever mode this is, but we'll see. And I don't know. Obviously, it's not going to be free. They're probably going to cost probably about $40. Yeah. But then the rest of this is just the disclaimer, and then we've already talked about that. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I know I'm dissecting this and I'm proving how it could be wrong and how it could be right. I'm trying to play both sides here because it sounds like somebody literally just watched a whole bunch of different YouTube videos and then wrote down what they wanted and then posted it on Reddit, to be honest. Because there are several content creators that have already stated that after this Fei Lao thing, the only way to continue the story is Sokolova, or if we were to go rogue. But after the Fei Lao mission, we already found out we're not going rogue, so the only thing that makes sense is Sokolova. So, grain of salt there. And then obviously survival. Everyone and their mom wants survival, so that's not a surprise there. A new city. That is super far-fetched, but again, that's something that we've all wanted. It just sounds like fan-made clickbait that is just trying to get people hyped for a game that the developers have not publicly said a word about. I agree with Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear in saying that we need a state of the game. I would second that. And I would, implore that the developers do come and say something, because now this is getting out of hand. We have Outriders demo coming out on Thursday, which is going to be another looter shooter. They are comparing it to, Destiny and The Division. So Destiny has already released news about their current new content and future new content, so Destiny is already on top of that. However, The Division has not said a word, except for they are in early developments for something later on this year. So I would strongly advise, just like Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear has, that these developers need to come out with the state of the game. They need to come out and say, hey, thanks to you guys, we're doing this, and give us a roadmap. We need to figure out what's going on with year 3. We're about to hit the year 3, anniversary for the Division 2, and we have not one actual roadmap to what we're getting, which is very alarming as not only a person that's been in this franchise for so long, but it's also just like a fan. Like, we know that with, every year we get these roadmaps, we get to see, what they're planning on doing, and then during the year we get, what the final product is. But here we have no roadmap, we have no idea what's going on, and we are getting these leaks that just sound, ridiculous at best. And then we have these new games that are coming out. So it's quite alarming that as a developer, they're not saying anything. So the only thing I can think of is it's going to be some really big news, which, yes, in this, leaked post, in that disclaimer, it does say, we're in for a ride for year 3. I don't disagree. I actually do agree with that. I think that year 3 is going to have some really good content, and I do think that it's going to be, a fun ride. However, I do not think that these leaks right now are real. Especially after a week of silence, and all we got was that developer's message saying TU12 was supposed to be the last. Thanks to you, year 3 content's coming, but it's coming later, 2021. And they haven't said a word since. So, I would personally keep all these speculations to yourself. I really wouldn't jump on them. That's really nothing to go off of. And I would personally just wait until the developers come out, say something publicly, and let us know an exact roadmap for year 3. I would suspect that would come soon, because the year 3 is really starting pretty soon, in less than a month. I think we're a couple weeks out. So expect something soon publicly from the Division, letting their fans know what's going on for year 3. because I highly doubt they're just going to let the anniversary of their own game go by without any sort of celebration. So just, hold tight, and we'll go from there. But let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel about this. Do you think these leaks are anything to go off of? And we'll go from there. I am Kamikazevondoom. Don't forget, I'll have a build video probably coming out later